Physics one of the reasons that I recall is that it created too much parking over past the peak. So what's it reduced? It's reduced housing space and any other space, and so it's inflated the cost of housing because there's not as much available space to build housing, which is parking lots.
Since we're still off record, I just think we started looking really aggressively at our parking number standards, but the idea of doing away with minimums is certainly something we can talk about.
Yeah. Certainly reducing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where will I put my 8 cars?
We're giving credits for like bike parking or certain other amenities that allow the reduction. Because I think ideally we want to be moving forward in progress, but we also, until we get to that point, we are a car-based society, and there's nothing more frustrating than going to a business and not being able to park anywhere, having people flow into neighborhoods because they can't park
Does that happen
at the
here?
business.
I'm curious if that happens anywhere here.
Watershed is the example.
I was actually thinking of the Lake Lansing Park North area.
Okay.
And Lake Lansing Park North? No bike ride, no bike park. Just pointed out. I've driven around the whole thing.
Well, that's the county.
You haven't lived here
I
when,
know.
you haven't lived here when Walnut Hills Golf Course was still active, have you?
I don't know.
Okay. Walnut Hills used to be on the LPGA Tour. Stop on the
cool.
LPGA Tour, yeah.
I remember that.
And it was so popular, I lived 2 blocks away from the golf course. Meridian Township Police used to police who could get onto our block. Because, you know, when you get 5,000 or 6,000 cars looking for a place to park, they just park in driveways that just completely blocked off the neighborhood. So it got to the point where you had to show an ID for the cops to let you onto your own street.
That's so cool. I wish we still had that.
Now we just use tow trucks.
No prevention. We just haul you away.
Yeah.
I have been on the river trail that connects to MSU.
Yeah, the new portion?
I've been on it like once a week for the past 6 weeks, basically.
It's nice.
Have you walked through the phase 2 yet?
I live on Phase.
Not yet. You can actually walk the whole path.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Yeah,
Glad.
it's going to be nice.
You're ready to go. I just let somebody fill the thing out, so when I get that, I'll give them to
Okay.
Chit chat.
All right, it is now time to commence the January 8, 2024 meeting of Meridian Township Planning Commission. I'm calling the meeting to order. First thing is a roll call. Commissioner Tresize.
Here.
Commissioner Shrewsbury.
Here?
Commissioner McConnell.
Here.
Commissioner Brooks.
Here.
Commissioner Snyder.
Here.
And the chair is here. We have a quorum. So we can go ahead with conducting business. First of all, I should note that there are 2 or 3 members of the public here. Do any of you folks want to make a general comment to the board before we get started? No? All right. The next item on the agenda then is approval of tonight's agenda.
I move approval of the agenda as distributed.
We don't have public hearings on this agenda, so if somebody wants to speak, they should be doing it now.
We also have public address at the end,
At
too.
the end, too, but
Okay, he has a general comment.
Okay.
Sir, did you want to make that a comment now, or did you want to wait till the end of the meeting to do it? Because there are 2 times when you can do it.
I really don't know.
Well, you're there. Why don't you introduce yourself and go ahead, sir?
I know that you're working on the comprehensive plan,
Yes.
and I was here.
But first, so that the record is clear, could you tell us your name and your address, please?
Robert Schroeder, 1615
Okay.
Kendall, East Lansing.
3 minutes? Yeah. You have 3 minutes to speak, sir. Go ahead, please.
I wanted to speak about the property, the golf range, east of Powell Road, and I should have the address, I'm sorry I don't. I'm looking at possibly developing that property, and I want it to be zoned commercial. I built the property Silverstone behind it. I bought the back half of it. Now I'm looking at trying to develop the front half. I would like to do a mixed use, a commercial PUD in effect, to blend residential back to commercial on the front. I know that car dealership to the west was approved. I think they backed out. I hear rumors that they might come back in, but regardless, it just seems like it blends in both directions to go from heavy commercial to some transition property along the Grand River. And that's what I wanted to speak about, or just bring up that I'm encouraging all to be zoned to blend in both directions from east to west and north to south. Residential, there's a dog daycare center, which is quasi-commercial, and behind it, residential, and to the west, commercial. And I think this property should be zoned commercial with the idea of doing a blend of medium high density residential and hard commercial. So that's the comment I have.
Thank you,
If
Mr.
any
Chair.
questions or anything I can answer, if you're discussing that, that speak.
Thank you, sir. May I make a suggestion? Leave your name and contact number with our staff because they're the ones who are going to be able to see.
Wait 20 minutes. This will be short.
Okay.
And I'll talk to you.
Thank you, sir. The record should also reflect that Commissioner Scales came in, now present for the meeting. All right. Next, we have approval of the agenda. We didn't vote on it, did we? No. There was a motion. Was there a second to approval of the agenda?
I second the motion.
Oh, okay.
All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
There is no objection. The agenda is approved. Now, the next item is approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was December 11 of 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve the proposed minutes that were in the packets.
I second it.
Is there any discussion on this? Call for the vote then. All in favor of approving tonight, the minutes from the December 11 meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are approved.
Can I interrupt here, just to respond to Mr. Porter? The future land use proposal to the township board does include rezoning that property to commercial.
Okay.
I can talk. I'll talk to you more specifically after the meeting.
So the board will be voting on that probably tomorrow or the next meeting.
Oh, okay.
That does not change the zoning at this point. It's to allow that in the future.
Your timing is perfect.
I must have been very persuasive.
Isn't working? Okay, okay.
There are no communications to speak of. There are no public hearings scheduled for today. So we are now on item number 8, unfinished business.
This is the second meeting for rezoning number 23036 at 5681 Shaw to rezone one parcel at said property from professional office to RC, multiple family residential. The original staff report is in here. There was a link to all the additional material, and there were no concerns brought up by the public or further concerns brought up by any planning commissioners. You may recommend as you wish. There is a resolution of approval in there based on your conversation, and the applicant is here if you have any more questions.
Thank you. Any questions of staff? Any discussion on this issue? A resolution has been proposed by staff that appears to be consistent with our prior discussion. Is there anyone who wishes to move to approve that resolution?
Do you need to see it? I can. Here.
Just to refresh the memory, this was previously a dental office building, which is now proposed to be reconditioned into a four-unit apartment. Is that right?
Yeah, it had the capability of holding 4 businesses. It had been a dentist office in the far past, It's in a very rough shape right now, and the applicant's proposing to not, keep the existing building, redo the interior of the building, and make it for residential units.
All right. Commissioner Scales.
I'll just read the resolve and move that as a motion, if that's all right with the chair.
That is, we'll adopt it as proposed by staff based on your motion.
Thank you.
Is there a second to that? The chair will second that. So we'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Trezise?
Yes.
Commissioner Shrewsbury?
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell?
Yes.
Commissioner McCurtis? I'm sorry, Commissioner McCurtis not here. Commissioner Scales?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks?
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. The resolution is passed
Okay.
with the language proposed by staff.
This will be forwarded to the township board, and we'll let you know when that's going to be on their agenda. Okay?
Planning Commission Annual Report.
Yep. This is an annual report that's required by Michigan planning law. This outlines the work that you did in 2023, and it's submitted for your,
That we did. Staff.
okay,
And
I will accept the friendly amendment. The master plan, of course, was the big item on the list, but you can see the list of everything. We include administrative stuff so that you can see the staff is doing behind the scenes. And we also include the zoning board of appeal applications, although that's not a planning commission thing. It is staff work, so you can see the entire body of everything that's going on.
it was nice to read I'll just comment. I was nice to read through all that and see all the stuff that we got through this year. And thank you for putting that together.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this the form, does this have to be submitted to anyone other than the board?
No, there's no state body or anything you have to send this to. It's just for your record.
Do we need to vote to adopt it or anything? It's just, thank you for putting it together.
If you want to do a vote to support, that's fine, but there's no resolution or anything necessary. You, like, vote to accept the report, but there's no resolution necessary for this.
Just so that we're on the record, I would move to accept the report as prepared by staff, outlining the progress made by the planning commission and our staff during this year in the land use planning and utilization for the state, or for the township.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
There is no opposition. Thank you, staff, for just all the hard work that you put into this.
Just a point of public
I'm sorry, go ahead.
information. I know you say there's no resolution or anything like that, but I think the action we just took was important because this does become a public record, and we should at least go on the record as agreeing with what we're submitting.
Correct, and we do appreciate that. Thank you.
As far as I can tell, that's the agenda. Yeah, I just want to go through, make sure I didn't miss anything. Township board update. There's a meeting tomorrow.
There's a special meeting tomorrow to discuss the board vacancy, and
Okay, liaison, there shouldn't be any liaison reports, I don't believe. Are there? I don't think so, okay. Actually, there was supposed to be a Downtown Development Authority meeting this morning. It was canceled because of lack of participation, so. Anyway, project report?
we don't have an update for you in this packet. We'll provide that in the next packet.
All right, so we are back to public remarks. Any members of the public who have visited with us have anything to say? No. Commissioner comments? Anyone wish to add to the meeting? Anyone want to go watch a football game?
Maybe a brief one. I also really appreciate the level of detail that's in the annual report. It's really helpful to see what's gotten done. I know once the master plan is adopted, we've got kind of a to-do list in there. Some of those things are for us, so maybe at our next meeting, we can focus on goals and specific objectives for the coming year.
Yeah, we do intend to put that on your next agenda as a discussion item. Start that conversation. What do you want to look at?
Very good. Anything else? All right. Then, is there a motion to adjourn?
So I move to adjourn.
I seconded the motion.
I believe all are in favor. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. Thank you for your attendance.